Welcome everybody back to another standard deck tech for the Ravnica block. Today I bring you green-white tokens. And this build is built off of a build that a friend showed me, and I've changed a little more to what I've liked and what I've tested to be, a little bit better, and the little bit changes that I like. Going down to the list, this is actually what I'm currently playing in standard. Standard for my, I have my Dimir and my Boros as backup, but after playtesting this one, it tends to overpower even my Boros deck, even with its power. And there's just so much, in green-white to help protect my creatures and be able to stop, Boros and Dimir. It's really good even against control because it's just so hard hitting aggro, especially with protection from Shalai and and others in the deck. It's just overpowered. Let's go ahead and go into deck course. First up is Emmara, which if you guys watched my EDH deck profile for Emmara, you see that I really enjoy playing her. And now I wanted to make a standard deck, which revolved around her as well. And 4 of her, whenever she becomes tapped, you create a 1/1 white soldier creature token with lifelink. There's a lot of times you're going to be attacking with her. 4 of her, even though she's a legendary, is not a bad thing at all because you're going to lose her multiple times. Next up is Shanna. She's really amazing because she can't be targeted by abilities your opponents control. And also she gets +1/+1 for each creature you control. And chances are you're going to have 3, 4, 5 creatures on the field, and having a 2-drop big creature is really great to have. Moving down, especially if she gets counters from different things. Next is District Guide. Now, it helps get through your deck to get to your lands that you're needing, especially when you want to build up for a March of the Multitudes, or if you're having land trouble, which is really not big of an issue, especially being 2-color and having 4 Temple Gardens and 4 Sunpetal Groves. But District Guides is definitely really awesome to have in the deck, and playtesting with him, he's been really fun, really awesome. And he was a part of the original deck, and it just seems really, really awesome. I really like it. Moving down to Shalai. Having in here it's a flyer. That's a 3/4. You and planeswalkers you control and other creatures you control have hexproof, which stops you from being targeted from burn spells, which burns the thing. I also have a mono red deck I play in standard. Planeswalkers I control, if I end up throwing any planeswalkers in here, which there's a few that I'm playing around with, thinking about throwing them in here. And my other creatures I control have hexproof, so there's no single target elimination I'm going to have to worry about, except when they hit Shalai, but then they have to hit her first instead of maybe other problems on the field. And having 2 of her, I'm probably getting another one down, and there's many ways in my side deck to protect myself. Next up is Venerated Loxodon, one of my favorites out of the new set. I love his art, 1, because he's an elephant, and 2, he has Convoke. And he's 4 colorless and a white, so you can convoke him down to just a single 1-drop for 4/4, which is really easy in this deck because it's easy to have 4 creatures at once, especially with Saproling Migration. And when he enters the battlefield, you put a 1/1 counter on each creature that convoked it. So all those little 1/1s or 2/2s that you had on the ground, tapping for them, now they're 3/3s or 4/4s. That's really amazing. Or 2/2s if they were 1/1s. Going down is Tristani. Other creatures go get +1/+1, so it makes even your smaller creatures even bigger, more of a threat. And when she enters the battlefield, you create 2 1/1 white soldier creature tokens with lifelink. So more lifelink and more things. Beginning of your end step, each player gains 12 all creatures to the end. That's not, I guess, too important for standard currently. And most of the time, they're going to come back to the person they own anyways. But the fact that it drops out makes 2 lifelinkers and makes all my other creatures bigger. So it drops out 2 2/2s with lifelink and makes them all bigger. So Tristani is definitely a must-have and a lover. Next up is Legion's Landing, of course. It's our 1-drop in the deck. And 1, it creates another lifelink creature. Lifelink is very important. And 2, when it flips, you're able to, make more tokens, which is what you're going to need, especially if you get to a dry spot where you're not getting to what you need. It's at least being able to make a creature that can block and give you life. Next up is Flower and Flourish. It allows you to search for a land for a 1-drop, which is amazing. How we love that. And when you get to 6-drop, creatures you control get +2/+2 into the end of the turn. That's pretty good going for that kill. And in this deck, a +2/+2 with 5, 6, 7 creatures, especially after you pop a huge March of the Multitudes, is pretty epic. I've had a point where I've popped March of the Multitudes for almost 9-10. Really easily in this deck. Next up is Saproling Migration. It's a 2-drop that creates 2 Saprolings. That's 2 tokens for 2. That's already amazing. And then you can kick it for 6 mana, which is not hard to get to in this deck, especially with Flower and Flourish in here, and Disregard. And you end up making 4 of those tokens instead. That's 4 more tokens for March of the Multitudes. Imagine setting up a Saproling Migration, and then the next turn hitting in March of the Multitudes. And if you hit the March of the Multitudes is an instant, so you hit it on your opponent's turn, and you got a huge amount of creatures. Next up, of course, is History of Benalia, one of the best token creators in game, and amazing arts, if I could just say. For the first 2 acts, you create a 2/2 White Knight Soldier token with Vigilance, and then the third one, all knights you control get +2/1 to the end of turn, which goes for another push, another huge push, especially with these knights getting bigger and bigger, and it's quite violent and quite brutal. Very much enjoyable card, and you gotta have it in the deck. Next up is another great cards from the new set is Conclave Tribunal. It has Convoke as well. So if you have 3 creatures on your field, you Convoke and you can drop it out for 1 if you need to. Especially with mana struggles and if you have all those tokens, there's always ways to make it cheaper, which is awesome so you can drop multiples of them or drop this and drop some creatures. When it enters the battlefield, you exile target non-land permanent opponent controls until it leaves the battlefield. So it's, basically a castaway, but you can Convoke for it. And then last but not least, out of the spells, is March of the Multitudes. As you know, it has Convoke, so you tap your creatures to help pay for that X cost. And then you create X/1/1 White Soldier creature circle with lifelink. Now, not only does it make so many tokens, massive amount of tokens, as you see if you playtest this deck, or any deck similar, you create, and they also have lifelink. How is that not just broken? It being an instant. I only run 2 in the main. I have 2 more in the side. The reason why I run 2 only in the main because of control decks. I don't want to hit a huge March of the Multitudes and end up getting countered. And we play with a lot of control decks in our standard format at our locals. So I dropped it down to 2 and put 2 more on the side for when I'm playing against aggro or mid-range. For lands, it's a basic land package. 10 plains, 4 forests, 4 Sunpetal Groves, 4 Temple Gardens. This has got to be my absolute favorite out of all the standard decks I've created and building and playing with. And I definitely wanted to bring this to you guys so you guys can all see this as well. And hope you guys enjoy it and want to play this deck as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe and to see more videos. I'm going to bring you guys more. I'm also going to bring you guys some budget standard decks as well, because as you see, this deck is not necessarily cheap, but not necessarily overpoweringly expensive. I'll be bringing my budget mono red deck that I play in standard also for my next video, and be looking forward to more. See you guys later. This is Shadow Child. Goodbye.